Hi guys, welcome back to the MVM Show. I'm Titus, and today I'm joined by none other than my co-host Thomas, and we also got Caleb. How do you say your last name, dude?
Marmolejo.
Oh, that's easy. Marmolejo.
Yep.
All right, so I think you guys will enjoy this one. I'm really excited about it. We've talked a lot and spent some time together right now, but I think we got a long ways to go to really get to know each other. But as you can tell, if you're watching the MVM Show on the podcast video platform, which is on YouTube, the MVM Show, you'll see that we're in another different setting. And I'm not really going to call this a hunt review. It kind of is going to be a little bit, but we just wanted to find out more about Caleb. He has a pretty cool background stuff. Kind of want to dig into that a little bit deeper, Caleb, but super talented. Some of the stuff you've seen on Instagram, if you want to follow us, you can follow us there, Mid-Valley Mercenaries. He's done a lot of those really, you can tell the difference between obviously stuff I've done and he's done. So it's on there, but you're not really wanting to push
Yeah,
your page, kind of.
I think I'm trying to fall in love with hunting organically versus jumping into it from a media perspective. I think it's been a good entry point, but as far as I'm not building something per se.
Yeah.
I think I have a pretty established role working for a company, and I love my job, so I'm not trying to push it aggressively. But
Okay.
I mean, I appreciate it, but
Yeah,
I'm more so
you
just
don't
here to-
care.
No,
really.
I
It's
want
like, whatever.
to. I want to empower you guys to keep doing what you're doing.
Well, we appreciate that. You've definitely helped us out a lot. We'll get more into that, but before we do, just go over a couple. Me and Thomas will go over a couple of the people that support us. Number one that I like to talk about is Eukanuba. Rocky eats the dog food, the Sporting Dog 3020, and it's the reason I like it so much, guys. Everybody's like dog food's dog food, which I definitely disagree. Rocky's coat's incredible, and it's been good on some stuff that I originally feed him when he was a puppy, but this is at another level. But the big thing is that it has chondroitin and glucosamine in it, which is really good for their joints. And that is a big thing in labs. They start getting arthritis and stuff like that. And I know for a fact, Jeff Adams, if he listens to this, he'll verify this. He had, I believe it was a lab. Don't quote me on that. But the dog really couldn't go up the stairs, couldn't jump up. I don't remember how old he was. He had a really hard time walking, really waddled. And I don't remember how long it was. He ended up getting on the 30-20 blend or the Eukanuba, and I don't remember if it was 3 or 4 weeks. He said the dog was jumping up and down on him like he was a puppy again, going up the stairs and like running around with no limping and stuff. So he was like, I'm a believer, so what else do we got going on, Thomas?
Oh, my favorite that I love to talk about is Heavy Shot. I've been using primarily their heavy bismuth this year, but I've also shot heavy hammer and heavy metal this year too. But whenever we're targeting mallards, I usually have a tendency to reach over to that heavy bismuth box.
And by the way, they gave us some free heavy bismuth, and we appreciate that. Like, that stuff's not cheap. But you bought the stuff you've been shooting is what you bought. You bait
Right.
yourself.
So yeah, we have all different ammos. They were gracious and gave us some heavy bismuth last year. Number 4s, 3-inch number 4s for 12 gauge, and they're awesome. I actually went ahead and purchased some of my own too, 12 gauge 3-inch number 6s, and I just love them. Like, I haven't actually shot anything from heavy shot that I don't like, but yeah, I mean, the heavy bismuth right now to me is just like, I'm loving it. I mean,
Right.
I'm absolutely loving it. I remember the first time we shot heavy shot products was probably 4 or 5 years ago now. First time ever bought heavy metal, and that was just a complete game changer. Opened our eyes. We've talked about it a lot, but even now, Titus messing around with 20 gauge and some shooting bismuth and trying out different loads and stuff like that. I mean, our eyes are kind of opening even more to shot size and chokes and stuff like that. But yeah, so far I've been shooting number 6s this year, bismuth for mallards, big birds, whatever. And it's just, I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, honestly.
And one more I just want to throw out real quick, just to help them out. Body Furnace. It's a company that has built this heating. I want to call it like a heating pad, but it curves kind of the curvature of your body, and you can stick it on your abdomen or your chest or even your lower back, kind of for like a rehab. But they really helped us out, and with the trip that we did to Kansas and all that, the flyway stuff. So I just kind of wanted to give them a little extra boost, of business. The really nice guys. And you can get 30% off that. And I was talking to Caleb about his buddy kind of created something, or someone created something with the heating stuff or something like that, wasn't it?
Yep.
And you were like talking about how much of a kind of a rave right now that's
the whole market.
That whole market is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Even today, it's like you're always looking to be warmer.
Yeah.
So
to be smart, like why suffer when you could do better, I guess. So anyways, it's getting really popular. I really haven't noticed it, but now I'm starting to see it more that I talk to people about it. But you can put in the code BF, B as in Bravo, F as in Foxtrot, and then dash 30%, and you get 30% off, and that's actually a lot. It's like $90 off, so that kind of tells you the cost.
Dash 30 or dash 30%?
Percent
So
sign,
put the sign in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Make sure you put the sign.
I could see somebody wanting to ask that question.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for clearing that up, and just make sure if you apply the code and don't do it, you make sure you contact us and the MVM Show podcast at gmail.com, and I will definitely help you out. I want you guys to get that if you are interested in it. So you download the app and you can control it. It's pretty cool. Really, it is. I think that's it. But let's just jump into this podcast and get going. So I kind of want to start off, Caleb, like your background, like starting from like your mid-teens when you kind of originally said you started the surfing and all that. Actually, go back a little even further. Kind of where you grew up, if you want. You don't have to give exact place. It's up to you. But
no, it's cool. So I grew up in like the Santa Barbara County area, so a lot of coastal influence and stuff like that. But it's kind of an interesting region. You're between the two bigger cities, so you have a lot of agriculture still, and some of my uncles and stuff are hunters and all that. But I kind of was more a surfer, like adventurous type. But I always wanted to hunt. It's just that barrier of entry for me, at least. My dad didn't hunt. It was just my uncles, and so I was almost like too intimidated to even ask, just because of how serious it was for them. And I get that, being a little bit older, but at the same time, I wanted to do it so bad. And so duck hunting, my uncle would have duck mounts in his living room, and I'd look at them and think like, oh, maybe one day, but no one really took me under their wing to do that. So it just remained a dream for a long time. But anyways, about me personally, because of those things that I was interested in, we would often find ourselves like trying to film it or trying to document those moments.
So you were the little kid with the camera, just always video and stuff, or what? Or more pictures?
Yeah, like literally, I took a Quaker oatmeal tub and stuffed my mom's camcorder inside of it with a bunch of foam around it and strapped it to my handlebars of my bike to go off the jump.
Dude, so you like did the first GoPro.
Yeah, that was before GoPro. So, I mean, all my friends were either skateboard, BMX, surfing, and we just wanted to, film that stuff because it was fun. Mm-hmm. And so that's really the first time I got a camera. My grandpa won one in a raffle or something, and me and my brother, we went to the swimming pool at his condo, and my brother was jumping off the diving board, and I had this little point and shoot Sony, and I was taking photos of him jumping off the diving board. I was like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So I knew from a long time ago that I was going to do camera stuff, but I just didn't know how that would all play out in the roadmap and all that stuff. But I'm super grateful, super blessed for where I'm at to be able to do it for a living, and then also to do stuff that I'm passionate about on the side like this.
Right.
So
what did you tell me about? You had told me about this before, like where you started out as far as with
surfing stuff.
Well, and then roll into like how you got your job.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
Yeah. Man. So I started shooting pretty much everything, but I also realized that you have to make money doing it. So I was more drawn to it from that passion side, but probably right around 17, 18 years old, I started like getting offers to do stuff, and it would be smaller local stuff. local surf magazines, wedding stuff. That was a big market for us as young kids. We saw an opportunity to make a little bit of money. And then, man, one thing led to another, but job offer after job offer, I would just like pursue these things that not necessarily were profitable, but something that I was passionate about. So right now I'm a producer. That's my role for a music label. So my entire job is just to plan and produce shoots. So I don't know. Remember exactly what we talked about.
We were talking about Apple and some of the stuff places you've traveled and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a local friend, and he made it really successfully with photography, and he was super generous enough to take us on trips and teach us stuff. And so this is like right before Sony was coming out with their stuff, and we would just do surf stuff and action sports, and there was commercial jobs and other types of jobs that kind of just set us up to pursue, photography as a living. So it was a platform and a footstep opportunity that led to career paths for each of us. So,
all right. Well, I wanted to get into, so what's kind of funny is I would say about a year ago right now, you have messaged me on Instagram.
Email.
It was email.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because you sent me some of the, so I'm curious. I'm going to ask Thomas if he remembers. So you sent me this, and you sent a couple clips of work you had done from YouTube with the, what's the dirt bike riders?
Chad Reed.
Yeah. And I was like, holy moly, this guy's work is really good. Like next level, like way up the notch. And do you remember me showing you those clips?
Yeah, I remember.
And we were both got kind of pumped about like, dude, that'd be awesome. Like he's one that, so originally he was like, I don't remember, did you say something about shooting your first duck, or did you just kind of want to film about Rocky? Like, what was that initial email?
So, I mean, I had been watching the channel, not like super close, but I was like, man, how do I start? And so I would YouTube like duck hunting for beginners or how to get into duck hunting. And your video popped up that was like, I forget, like
get in duck hunting chief or something. I think
and I was like, well, yeah, I clicked on it, right? Dude, immediately I saw you talking and I was like, man, this guy's like, he's not coming at it from like a know-it-all perspective. He just wants to help people. And I was like, this guy's a teacher. He's really like has the heart of a teacher. So I watched the first one. I remember telling my wife, I was like, this guy's legit. Like he's actually passionate about what he's doing. He's not trying to get a bunch of subscribers. Like if he does, good for him. But you can tell he's genuinely passionate about duck hunting. So I was like, I remember thinking he's literally helping me. I was like, I want to help him back. So I was like, I bet he could use some help with video. Not saying the videos were bad.
No, yeah, right.
Nothing like that. I was like, I literally felt like
that's not how he thought. He's like, this dude needs help.
That's
I'm
so
just
funny.
playing.
I remember thinking, man, you're giving me so much that I felt like I wanted to give back a little bit. And so I think I emailed you. I went to the about section on the YouTube page and saw the email. I was like, man, maybe he won't read it or whatever. But I just said like, hey, thanks for all the insight. If you ever need help filming, I'd love to volunteer kind of thing. Because I knew also that I would learn things while I'm filming. And that'd probably be
stretching your expertise area, like style.
No, I'm talking about hunting.
I'm
like, even if it takes me, like, even if I filmed you 5 times and never had the opportunity to hunt, which is totally not how you are, but I was like, I would walk away with knowledge that I can't get anywhere else. No, I don't have any friends that duck hunt.
Okay.
So, or that would take me. So I saw it as like an awesome opportunity to help each other.
Yeah. And I was like, well, in my mind originally, I was like, that'd be epic having the guy with that quality of stuff. I even didn't know even you were I could tell by looking at you ain't using no normal cameras, but not only that, but your skill level. It was there. And I was like, and I'm raking in my head and I was like, dude, I really legitimately, so I always wondered if you thought I blew you off on that first season because we were texting.
Yeah.
Right.
We were trying to make it happen.
We were trying to make it happen, but I don't know exactly really why it didn't happen. I don't really remember a reason, but it was kind of late. I want to say it was mid-December when you originally hit me up. So it was kind of like it's getting close to being over, whatever. But anyways, but we stayed in touch. I don't know if I actually even talked. I might have not talked to you much for 4 or 5 months. Maybe I don't know if we did or not. If we texted or not.
We just I remember trying to make it happen, and then dates were not really. It wasn't an easy thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, that was 2019 or
last year.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to. It doesn't matter. The details don't matter. But I just remember saying, "Hey, let's." I don't know if you contacted me again or I said, "Hey, let's hook up this year, and this is the 2020 season." And we have been getting on some really good hunts, and I'm like, "Dude, let's do it." And you're like, "That's not that far from me, whatever, from where you're at that moment." And I'm like, "Let's do it, dude." So, but I just wondered, like, you were so okay. So on the first hunt, Caleb went with us on his very first duck hunt, right? That was your very first duck hunt.
Very first one.
Okay, it was me, Travis, and Talon, and then Jake, Nathaniel, and Morgan, his boys. They went there too, but they hunted a whole different pond or different area because there's just too many. We don't want to have that many in one spot. And he brought out 2 $100,000 cameras that was on lease through your company. It's not like Caleb owns them, but I was cool with it. Like, okay, I knew where we'd be hunting. We'd be up on some dry ground, but I know at the same time it's like, okay, these are $100,000 cameras. Like, these get dropped. I could tell you're super
great.
Paranoid.
You could?
Kind of, yeah, because you kept saying.
You know what's funny is I'm known for being like
chill.
I wouldn't say careless, but I'm saying I look at those as a tool. The same way probably a contractor looks at his skill saw. Like it has a purpose. And I mean, granted, the duck environment is not what that thing's made for, but that's why I love it. I'm like, those shots that you can get there, no one's going to go in there.
No.
And so when we put that thing in the sled, I was like, here we go.
Dude, I know you're psycho just from seeing the stuff, which whatever, like you said, you see it a different way, but I'm like, dude, like I'm like cringing, like, ugh, I don't know.
Yeah.
That just don't seem like it should be like that. But whatever.
But you just got the most incredible footage. I was going to look and see just to kind of let you guys, you guys can go and look. That was episode 5. So that was episode number 5, which I don't know why that's saying that.
Was duck hunting what you thought it would be? Did it feel like what you thought it would be, or was it different, or what was it like?
Yeah, I think Titus can back me up, but like I kind of got spoiled with my first hunt. Mm-hmm. It was like nonstop action, and I would say for the most part, yeah, like I knew it was gonna be brutal just from like everything I've seen. Like I knew it'd be cold and early and all that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, as soon as those ducks started flying and everybody was shooting, I was like,
you forgot about all that.
It was awesome, huh?
Yeah, it was everything I imagined.
And it was funny because I was telling you, I think it was only 45 that morning. And I was telling you, dude, this is warm, dude. I was like, because you didn't, okay, number one, guys, if you never watched the channel, which you might not, some of these people might not, but it's episode number 5 on the 20 duck season. You can go on the YouTube channel and check it out. He did some incredible cinematic shots. But on the video, he's like, "Want to check these bad boys out?" I go over there. Caleb's telling me that, and he pops open the hatchback on his
rustic
400 rustic ridge, man, 400 gram. And I go, "Oh," and he goes, "Uh-oh."
Yeah,
it's like you were smart enough to know, like that was not a good, like, oh. Well, you're like, what's wrong now? I was like, well, 400 grams is fine now, but it gets colder.
Yeah, I think the listeners will love this. So. Me and you ended up calling me and you were like, hey, you just wanted to talk about an opportunity. And it ended up that you were like, hey, like we're going to be close to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
Oh, let's do it. I'll go tomorrow. And so
super last minute.
I got off work at like 3 and went to Sportsman's and like tried on a pair of waders. I told the guy, I was like, I'll take them. Cause I had like a 20
and I think
minutes.
I told you, dude, I said get 1,200.
Yeah. That's what I tried on.
Right.
And I was like, they're great. They're $130 or something. I was like, they're great. I'll take them. Well, he comes back out with the box, and that's the box that I ended up showing you. He gave me the wrong ones, but I was already out there.
No.
He tried on 1,200 grams, and they gave him a 400 gram waders.
No.
Yeah. I was like, I'll take them.
What a nightmare.
You know what, though, dude? That's good for you. But you know why? I'll tell you this. because every one of us have a story about our first hunt and our first pair of waders. Have we not? I don't know. Did you buy some or did you try Travis's?
My first like 6 hunts, I didn't even see a duck.
Okay, but not only that, but your waders, did you buy some or were those Travis's used ones?
I think those may have been Josh's.
And they probably had
I don't
holes
know
in them.
whose they were,
They
but
weren't
yeah, they didn't fit.
So it's a rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage, dude.
Okay.
Like legitimately, I remember
Well,
wearing.
We've all fell over in the water, gotten
soaked.
The first
Yeah,
year,
you
I
still
was
got time
running
for that.
through a pond, tripped over like one of those. You said, "Watch out! There's a stump or whatever." In there. I've run in to get a bird, tripped over something like that. Boosh! Right in the water.
I got one of them on video. It was blowing like 25, 35 miles an hour. It wasn't really cold, luckily, but he just face planted.
It feels like, I mean, I took a little dip yesterday, tiny one.
You did, yeah. You did a little
And
ladle,
Yeah, it feels like it scoops in the water. Like
yeah.
it went down my whole leg. Yeah.
But those are the stories that make it fun, right? You know, it's not enjoyable always.
Later,
Later, exactly. So the 400-gram waders, and then it was super last minute. I was driving up there. That's what it was. I had Nathaniel in the truck with me. We were on our way up there. We were somewhere up by Truckee or something. I don't remember where. And we talked on the phone. We were like, bro, I think I can make that happen.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, come up and meet
I'm
us
so
here.
glad that I did.
Me too, dude.
That
like,
was a
because again, I say this a lot, and it's like a little bit mushy, but it's like, it's so cool. The origination of friendships, because like I told Thomas, and he I'm sure he'll verify what I'm saying. Like, you're a super cool dude, and I love hanging around you. Like, I feel like we've known each other. We can talk like we've known each other years. And like Harrison and other people that we've come in contact with, it's not just like a one time, okay, hunt with you, cool, nice seeing you, we'll see you later. It's like you grow that relationship. For sure. You know, 10 years from now, you're like, oh, dude, remember that? You 400-gram rustic ridge one? You know? Yeah. It's awesome.
Can't wait to tell that story with my Sitka on.
Next year.
Yeah. I'm a few years out from that. I got to earn my stripes.
Nah, dude. If you can afford it, you do it. But so we go out there. Like I said, it was a pretty mild hunt. It was like 45 degrees. That just kicked on by itself, huh?
Yeah, I was like, what is that sound?
That's weird. We're in a little Airbnb over here, chilling out. But yeah, so I was like, man, this is nice. I don't even know if I think I wore like the jacket that don't have nothing in it. It was plenty warm. But he come out there, and I think you were saying your feet were cold, which 400 grams, because it wasn't like it was hot up there.
No.
But we get out there, and I don't really know how it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good because me and Nathaniel had hunted it 2 days before. We're like, okay, I think we'll be good. And I'm like, man, I hope it's good though. But my goal was, me and Travis had talked about, is like, we got to get Caleb a bird. Like, we got to give him his first duck. Like, you were like, nah, man, I'll just video. Don't worry about me. And I was like, no, there's no way, if it's any bit good, that we're not going to get you your first duck, because you'll have plenty of opportunities. And it may be like this, like we're dealing with right now,
right?
Where it's completely dead, dude. You don't even have a chance. And we almost had to force feed you that gun.
I know.
Whose gun did you use?
His.
So you shot an A5?
Bro, it was so nice.
I think you shot Travis's once too, though, didn't you? It seemed like in the video when I was looking.
Maybe
you shot his. And I know I handed you mine. But maybe you gave back.
So what'd you shoot?
I'll tell you what. His gun was more memorable.
There you go. Boom.
My first duck was green-winged teal.
Oh, Drake.
Sorry.
Well, no, but I mean, it was a green-winged teal, but it was a Drake. So it was a male. So it was basically the prettier version.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm still learning everything.
Yeah, dude. So how'd you feel? Like, what was your emotion at that moment? Like, I mean, I want to make it super.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, man. I mean, I think my personality is like, I reflect on things. So like in the moment, it's like, that's like a huge achievement, right? I've been looking forward to that moment. Actually, I mean, for a good chunk of the last probably 10 years, I thought I'll probably maybe not get a chance. So for that to happen, and I was already stoked on the footage, like everything we were filming. I was excited about that.
That sunrise was unreal.
Yeah, I was really excited about that.
Have you filmed any hunting at all before this?
I did a black bear hunt for 14 hours, and it was like a a stand. Like we weren't stalking. We were kind of waiting. And that's it.
Yeah.
So
this is quite a bit
was
different.
A lot
than
more
that,
action. Yes.
Yeah. Environment's different. The action's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot more exciting.
And even the ability to be able to just talk not loud, but you can at least move. Like
enjoy it.
Yeah.
And,
I think and that's probably why I was drawn to it at the beginning anyways. Just like the lifestyle around the duck hunt looked cool. Like the whole experience start to finish. Even just walking out there today in the ice, like my son would dream to do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But
so I don't know if you ever really answered the question. Was duck hunting that first time, was it what you thought it was going to be, or what was it?
I don't think there was anything about it that stood out as like, well, I didn't expect it to be like that. I mean, yeah, I think for the most part it was. It's what I expected it to be.
That's cool.
Yeah. No crazy unexpected moments. I didn't think I would actually hit a duck.
I honestly I didn't know if you would either, not because of you, but any person knew.
Right.
The fact that, there's a lead, you got to lead. I remember, and I said, not that even made a difference, because you can tell people 1,000 times until they experience it.
Yeah.
But did you remember me harp on you? Dude, just lead farther than you think. Lead farther than you think. That probably didn't go over your head. But I was like, if he puts it in front of it, I know he can, anybody can hit it. They just got to get in front of it. I think it was like your third shot, dude. You shot a couple before that. We're like, that was tough. Like,
the first couple were right above us.
Yeah, it was tough.
And that was hard. But once there was a little bit of angle, they were kind of flying out front.
Yeah.
That felt a lot more natural.
Yeah. And you stoned.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I was hoping for some of that action today.
Oh, I was hoping for you, man. We all wanted it today. It was disappointing today.
Yeah.
Do you think that do you ever find yourself, this is kind of like a reverse question, so do you ever think that filming and hunting have similar characteristics, like tracking with the bird?
Oh yeah. Actually, funny you say that, because when we started using the camcorder this year, I don't know if you've noticed this, I feel like I'm always trying to catch up to the bird. Like he's always in the front. Like, say if it's going from right to left, like going like this,
He's on the left side.
He's on the left side. Like I can't stay in front of him.
Right.
Did you notice that? Why is that for? Like, is that the same concept? You're just...
Well, that's why I don't know. I think that's why I'm trying to reverse engineer how I hit the bird. And the only thing I can relate it to is when you're looking through a lens and you're trying to lead something, whether it's a person surfing or running.
I'll tell you what, I feel like I need to make a video on this summer, like once after season, put this kind of stuff out to help people. There's not much to it, but in my opinion, if you know anything about football, it's
Right.
a wide receiver going super fast, doing a 5 and out, and you don't try to throw right where he's at when you throw the ball. You're throwing it out in front, he's going to run into it. It's the same exact thing. And I think that would click in people's heads a lot more. You're passing the duck, the shot.
Right.
You're passing it to him. So get in front of him, and time it where they're gonna intersect. Versus, like, I don't know. Sometimes a lot of people are like, 2 bird links in front, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, it's funny. It's probably some of your videos help me because you're talking about pattern and how, like, even just understanding how a shotgun shell spreads.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense that you'd have to lead the bird.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was an incredible time, and I'm stoked that I got the bird.
Yeah.
You shot a pintail too, didn't you, Caleb?
I did. Yeah.
On your first hunt, that's pretty actually impressive, or lucky, whatever you want to call it.
He doubled.
And you doubled on your first hunt. That's unheard of.
Your second set of your second bird was a double with a shoveler
and
a pintail.
And you don't have previous hunting experience. Wow.
Or shotgunning. Like, that's a different.
That's very impressive.
I've owned my shotgun for like a year, and I've probably shot it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. There's people that don't shoot pintails for a long time.
Not only that, but double, dude.
Or double.
Because honestly, I think someone knew their mindset would be, I got one, and then stop. Like, put the gun down.
Well, I was the only one. Or no. I don't know how. It was from
behind us. We were looking out front.
I was about to say I was the only one shooting, and that's why I pulled the trigger twice. But I remember us figuring out.
But that's instinct, though. You don't force yourself to do that.
Gotcha.
You just know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you knocked that one down, you went to the next one. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you fast enough to do that. Like, oh, go shoot the other one, too, because that'd be long gone. You were just like, boom, boom, and I heard sploosh, sploosh, and I'm like... And I asked Talon, did you? He's like, that wasn't me. It was Caleb. I go, what?
That's so funny.
Yeah, I've never seen that. That's impressive.
There's a lot of people that have hunted for a long time that will never double.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember being really nervous that I shot 2 of the pintails. I know now that's the name.
Oh, yeah. One was the shoveler and one was the pintail.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, why is he so nervous? You're like, was that okay? And we're like... Shooting in a double, yes, that's okay, dude. And then we realized you were worried about the pintail limit, which was good for you to even have that knowledge too. That we told you can only shoot one of those. So I mean, good thing it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't really looking when you were shooting that. Because I seen the spoonie fall and I knew it was a spoonie. I was like, awesome shot. And then I splash again, and I was like, did you shoot Tally? He's like, that was Caleb.
That's hilarious.
Like, or it was Trouser.
So awesome.
It was.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool bird.
The pintail?
The pintail.
Oh, cool by the way, folks, he went home and he did a pretty cool thing as what us as hunters should do, and he cooked them up.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
That was awesome. I mean, it was good table fare, but I got home, and so my son, he knows what I'm doing, and he's like asking questions. He's 5. And so I texted my wife when I was about 20 minutes out. I was like, hey, I got 3 ducks, and I want to see if the kids want to clean them with me and be part of the process, which I had low expectations. So I didn't know if they'd be grossed out, if they'd be sad, all the above, right?
Yeah.
I opened my trunk on my car. And by the way, I'll never forget, I was like, hey, is it okay if I get my ducks before you guys, we split ways? And I thought you were going to have like a cool bag to put them in, and you just handed them to me. I was like, what? This is how it works? They're all bloody.
What kind of bag did you think they were going to get?
I thought he was going to have like nice cardboard box with a bow on it. No, I just thought, I thought it was like I thought they were going to be messier and like smell. I didn't know what to expect. I never been around ducks. So
that's funny, dude.
When I was like,
or wrap them up in butcher paper for you and wrap them up.
Totally.
A little doggy bag. There
you have a nice day.
You Thanks literally in the parking lot of the burger place. I was like, hey, is it cool if I grab my birds? And you come back with them in your hand and hand them to me. I'm like looking around for like a baby wipe. Never held a dead animal in my life.
Oh, that's so funny. That's funny, the things you don't think of.
That is funny. I've never thought of that.
It was hilarious.
Some cool bag.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I got home. My kids were fascinated, kind of like me. And then me and my son and my daughter too, they just started we watched the YouTube video, like just tried to find an easy one on YouTube. And I don't know if you have one. I didn't see one.
No, I don't. Because I think you texted me like, what do I do? And I said, just cut down the breastbone and peel the skin back. Right. But I think I told you, just look one up on YouTube. There's 1,000 of them out there.
Yeah. So we just did it, and they started pulling the feathers off, and it was like a whole ordeal. But we cooked that, and I grew up in Santa Maria, so we do Santa Maria barbecue, and typically anything you put on that tastes decent. I've done a lot of someone gave me some back straps from an antelope, and I cooked them on there. It's great. So I figured I would try the duck like that, and it was awesome. I think it tasted great. I don't have a lot to compare it to, but I'm not.
But this is coming from a guy that surfed and ate sushi, and it's not like you haven't experienced fresh game.
Right.
In a way, game, but you know what I'm saying? But this is totally different. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like we were talking today at lunch, you like you just like the whole mindset of, okay, this was fresh. I harvested this. This is mine. It's good,
Totally. I love that. Mm-hmm. And my neighbor actually walked over because he saw the birds. And he was like, hey, where'd you go? And he has been duck hunting the area back home for a while.
Oh, really?
And he was telling me like, it's really hard to cook duck well, like, and he could see it on the barbecue. And I was like, all right, well, just hang out for like 5 minutes. And I gave some to him, and he liked it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the hopefully the more experience perspective.
And just to throw this out there for anybody listening that's newer, I mean, I shouldn't even say new because honestly, it took me a long time. Honestly, last year before I even knew this. It's pretty sad. I mean, there's ways I cooked it that I really liked it, but you got to remember, you cook duck like steak, not chicken. And I think I remember saying that, reiterating that to you, like, dude, do not overcook that. It's going to be terrible. If you get it super dark and well done, it's going to taste like, sometimes it can taste like liver. Not the texture of liver, but just, I don't know, it just don't have a good taste. But you cook it medium rare, medium, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
More so medium rare.
Yeah.
Because
I have a photo. I'll pull it up after we're done talking and I can show you because I cut it in half to.
Oh, yours?
Yeah.
Was it medium rare?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why.
Awesome.
I'm telling you, you'll cook it as crazy. Because, I mean, you can do stir fry. You can do, I've done, what's that called? Some Mexican
Poppers.
Mexican
Fajitas?
dish. Those two and fajitas. So
Yeah.
I've done both those. All good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's caked with a lot of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And even then when you're eating it, sometimes because you don't cook it right, you're like, there's a little bit of taste, but I'm drowning it with the salsa and this and that. And Poppers has got all the cream cheese and jalapeno. But what I'm saying is, now that I know going into that how to cook things even better, that's just not going to have any gamey taste, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I will say this, it's obviously matters on the bird too. And you would just have to ask me or someone that knows, like, hey, I shot this. And I'd be like, no.
Yeah. Pintail and teal are some of the better eating birds.
Like,
you know.
Every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas
And
a mallard could have a little bit off a
consistently.
taste sometimes,
Yep.
depending on what they're eating.
The pintail was great. And I remember you telling me that was a spoonie
Mm-hmm.
would be the least good.
Did you cook it too?
Well, I used that one first to clean that bird first so that I didn't mess up the good birds.
Okay. But you guys did eat it barbecued?
Yeah.
Really?
I could taste the difference on
You
that
could?
one. Yes.
But
for
you guys
sure.
ate it?
Just like sampled it. I didn't finish that one.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, they'll land in some weird places. But I mean, I've heard several people say, "Hey, we shot this in rice fields," and they said it was incredible.
I've heard too.
It's gonna be good.
We've talked about here, handling, processing meat or whatever. I've heard two people saying, just brine them for longer, or actually brine them. You probably didn't brine those birds or whatever. But yeah, a couple extra steps and you can probably help it out.
Big time. More. Matt from Higher Prairie Sportsman, he soaked his in water. I don't know if I told you that method. I think I did, but you were like, you just ate him that night. But you breast them out, throw them in water, and you change that water about 4 times a day because what it is, it sucks the blood out, so the water will turn red. Dump it out, fresh water. Dump it out, fresh water. Just like you would like, I want to say crabs. Oh my goodness. Crawdads.
Okay.
That's what they'll do because they're red or brown. And you just keep changing the water out, and they'll turn blue or red, because it cleans it. They filters them out.
Wow.
So it's the same thing with me. It will just suck all the blood out. And Matt, the day we had him, it had been a week. I'm like, man, I didn't know you could do it that long. Like I've done 3 or 4 days. He's like, no, these have been changed to water for 7 days. And Travis, that was when we were in Nebraska this year, and he's like, whoa. He goes, these are literal pieces of ribeye. Like, it was incredible.
Wow.
And he cooked them on the barbecue, seasoned them. I don't remember what he used. I think he put some Worcestershire and some salt and pepper and stuff. They were killer, dude. I had like probably 6 of them myself.
Just water only? You didn't put anything
Just
in the
water.
brine?
No salt. Because I've done salt
I've
too.
heard salt too.
And it
yeah.
can kind of, you can ruin them. Because I
Make
thought
it too salty.
it is salty,
I've done that.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just water. Because then you'll season it with whatever you want,
Yeah, you weren't saying that he doesn't put salt on them at the end.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Just in the water itself.
Right.
I've
The
done that
brine.
before.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that
Yeah.
with all those birds we got today.
Welcome to hunting.
Yeah.
It
That was
can be
rough.
really
I would
frustrating.
say that was the rougher of the year I've had probably
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, right? I mean,
I
you
feel like if
can't
we would have had
have
some
bangers
goose
every single
floaters,
time.
no, that's not even how
I
it's
mean,
supposed to be.
No.
Because it makes the good hunts amazing.
Better. You appreciate it more.
I guess sometimes the only reason I get a little bummed is in a certain area where you come up. I have someone's from out of town. They come with us.
You just feel like the expectations
Yeah,
there.
well, you just want it there. You want it to be good for those
Right.
reasons. Because we were trying to film you. It's nice. I'm getting a break.
Yeah.
Like you're doing it, and I'm like, feel like, what do I do? You know, like ready super early.
Yep.
But at the same time, I know it's hunting. I've been doing it for a long time, so it's like,
right.
It is what it is. So yeah, whatever.
Next
we got to
time.
hang out, dude.
Oh yeah, it was
hang
still a
out
great
and-
trip.
Yeah, it's fun. But if the season's not over, I think we're gonna get you on some other stuff we've talked about. But
Yep.
Other than that, I don't know. There wasn't much more to cover about the hunt. I think we did pretty good on that hunt back a month or two ago, whenever that was. Today, like, just so everybody knows, we had yesterday we killed a couple
Ring necks.
ring necks. That was kind of cool. Those came in close,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys made a good shot. I don't know if that was you were telling, but the footage that you got yesterday, and you guys, if you want, you could watch episode 17 or 18. It was a shorter clip. It's only like 8 minutes long, but that's the kind of quality stuff that Caleb can do, and it's new for you. So, like you said, it's the environment.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, man, you feel like you're just getting those right shots, though. Like, I haven't even sat down with you and showed you those pictures, dude.
Which ones?
I was coming in there to show you last night. It was like 8 o'clock, and you were snoring with your hands in your pants. He had them tucked in the top of his gradient pants. I'm like, he just basically took his jacket off and went to bed. He didn't-
Yeah, I told him today, I go, man, I feel good today. It's probably like the most sleep I've had in a long time. My wife's kind of opposite of me. I'm typically more of a morning person, and I go to bed somewhat early, but she's kind of the opposite, late riser and a late, night owl. So a lot of times she keeps me up.
Yeah, I know that
Longer-
feeling.
2 hours past
2
your
hours
normal.
past. Well, 2 hours past of what I would normally.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had actually intentions.
That's what it is. I always think you're just Mr. Sleepyhead. And the truth is, you're just trying to catch up for Darian keeping you up for all these years.
Yep, exactly.
I
No,
know she'll never listen to this. so it doesn't
legitimately,
matter.
I felt great today, but
Good.
unfortunately,
Tell Darian when it's 2 days before hunt, let her catch up so you can
yeah,
not
I'd
be so exhausted.
I'm sure she'd be more than willing.
Hey, you know what though?
Yeah, you got it good in that area. Your wife goes to bed super early.
But that didn't used to be that way, dude.
Yeah.
She used to stay up till 1 o'clock cleaning.
Cleaning.
Who
Yes.
does that?
Okay, listen to this. When I was framing houses, to me one of the most laborious, not the most, but there's a lot of jobs out there that would be worse than I would say. But it's pretty taxing, like especially working with a crew that is hardcore, like binging. Them are like you dude, pedal to the metal until the day is over. And nothing wakes me up hardly, but speaking of not waking up, she said she'd be like, yeah, I cleaned the whole fan last night, lights, bulbs, top of the fan, with the lights on 1 in the morning, cleaning the house,
Are you serious?
straddling me while I'm sleeping in bed. Never wake up. I thought she was lying to me, dude.
Yeah.
You were asleep.
No,
That's how she used to be. She would stay up all night, and then you start having kids and
Right.
school, you're homeschooling, like all the stuff she does. I mean, it's just so much stuff. And then you just,
Totally.
it's not the same anymore. That was
Wait.
when we were,
Does she just like stuff really clean?
okay, that's the thing. And she wouldn't care if she even heard this, so I'm not down on her, but like, we can have a messy house, like thrashed, but it's clean. Like, you know
I know
what I
what you
mean?
mean. It's
Like the
unorganized,
carpet's
but it's-
clean, everything's clean, but you'll see toys laying all over the place, clothes,
Yeah.
when it gets to the point where she gets behind, or the kids, and it don't help the kids obviously.
Yeah.
But now the more we're making them work, the better it's getting, because now they're doing the dishes. These are apart, man.
That's good.
It's too much for one person.
Instilling that value.
Yeah. So
I have a question for you.
okay.
How do you manage the passion for hunting with the labor of creating the videos? Because I'll tell you this, guys.
You should ask Thomas that question.
Well,
Thomas can see the ugly side.
I was gonna tell everybody, like, I know what goes into an edit, and I see, like, you have your podcast, you have the videos, and you're trying to hunt and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't know if anyone realizes how hard you're working. Like, they just enjoy the finished product, which is cool. But I'm looking at it like, that's a lot of work. And then the hunt is a lot of work, and you're doing both. So I'm like,
and then throw in days like today.
yeah. I'm like, I'm impressed. The work ethic is amazing. So how do you stay passionate about hunting?
I go through my days, dude.
Yeah.
Well, no,
There's
I
only
don't
one-
have
there's only
an
one way
issue
you
staying
can.
passionate about duck hunting.
Right.
That's never gonna leave.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The only thing that keeps it is he had the passion for waterfowl in the first place.
Right.
Not trying to, like you said earlier, get subscribers.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. If that wasn't the case, we would have never met.
For
You know,
sure.
relationships would have never
Yeah.
been made. But to the core, it was he loved duck hunting.
Yeah. If YouTube existed or not, he would be doing exactly what he's doing. right now.
Exactly. And
100%.
that's how the channel started in the first place.
It's so cool.
Is, he's the one that's always been more with videoing and stuff like that. He's awesome with that. But we were hunting, and he's like, man, we need to actually video our stuff so we remember.
Yep.
It started out with being able to go back and watch our hunts, and then it kind of morphed into this.
That's exactly like how I started with filming.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about that.
And I've had a camera dude in
experience.
my hand. Ask him, but he's younger brother. You can ask my sister and my parents. I've had a video camera in my hand since like 9. Like
That's so
specifically video. Pictures are cool, and I love them more than I used to. Like pictures, like I want to get good at that.
Yeah.
I love your photography, dude. But I was always doing stupid, dude. Videoing me dunking it. Like stupid stuff.
Hey, like a 7-foot rim or something.
Like a short rim.
You still have the
He
footage?
used to video us. Yeah, all kinds of stupid stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, he would video everyone. Not
We'd make
just us,
movies
but-
like
Yeah.
not what do they call those soap operas?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
no
did-
way.
Oh, just anything I could think of the video, we do it.
That's so funny.
We do Jerry Springer show. No. Just you know what I'm
Throwing
saying.
stuff.
Like we're just
Yeah.
always been stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But so I've always been infatuated with videoing.
Yeah.
So
do you
I
feel
do like videoing, dude. I did it because I want to remember hunts, but I like videoing. I like getting the B-roll shots.
Right.
But like you said, doing those both together, it's overwhelming a lot of time. And matter of fact, honestly, I was plugging everything right now, and I was like, I'm getting burnt right now. Like it's towards the end of the
yeah.
season. Like I'm starting to like get tired of plugging the cords in and setting the deal. And but I still
I
like
guess
it.
that helps that you're like it's seasonal.
Yes.
So you know you're in a sprint,
Yeah.
and you know
I
you're
purposely come
close
into
to
it
that finish
mentally
line.
preparing. Like, okay, we'll talk about it. Like this, just dude. If I start, I've told Travis that a lot of times. If you see me starting to like,
Fade
I ain't
out.
taking the cameras. I ain't doing this. This
Right.
hunt, I'm gonna enjoy this. Which there's nothing wrong with that, and he knows we need that every
think-
once in a while.
Yeah, it's good.
But like sometimes I just don't take nothing out there, and it's a nice little. I feel like I've paced myself good this year. Thomas even said that he feels like I've not got irritable, mad, just hard to enjoy and be around. You know, because
Yeah.
I go through those phases where I know I ain't fun to be around
Right.
because I'm worrying about number one. I'm an old the firstborn.
Right.
And me and another friend of mine that's a firstborn feel like we take responsibility for other people and what they do.
Okay.
And we don't need to. It's
Yeah.
not our.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what Thomas packs and loads. But I'll think about I'm thinking about what he needs to get. I
Right.
don't need to.
Yeah.
So you start worrying about other people. Then you're worrying about your camera stuff. Then you're worrying about your dog, which was a whole nother factor 3 years ago.
Introducing the
which
dog.
was hard on us because he wants to have good duck hunt, and he's fairly newer. He wasn't brand new, but you know, he's getting more and more passionate about it every second, every bird he shoots.
Right.
So it was just like tough trying to train a new dog. That was the hardest year of all. Trying to
year was
train
that,
a new
17?
dog,
That year,
filming, it was rough.
and put a bad duck season into it.
It was a horrible.
That was a
season.
terrible duck season.
Oh.
We still got some good
For a
videos
lot of
and
reasons,
hunts,
though.
but
For a lot of reasons, it's not that we really traveled a lot for that season
No.
either. So I guess we can't really complain.
I mean, looking back now,
Completely.
I was like, I'm thankful for that season. Like, I learned a lot. I learned a lot with the dog. People became close. It was the journey we talk about all the time. That whole journey makes us now what we are right now and what it will be in 5 years. Right? We need all this stuff.
Yeah.
Just makes you a better person, and it really creates the memory. Because that's the season we're probably going to talk about more.
This is Rocky's third season, right?
Mm.
So I would say last year was like extremely enjoyable. We had a good duck season. Rocky was trained up, and we changed some things with like videoing and stuff like that.
Not really last year.
Well, I just mean maybe I don't know. I feel like it changed. Some things changed. Maybe.
Well, I think we get better every year, but I think this year to me has been the most enjoyable of filming. I have not really felt stressed out about filming at all.
Yeah, maybe it was just the season in Rocky. Maybe it was a big factor, but the year before that with a brand new dog, and I thought we started actually videoing that year.
Mm-mm.
The year before. Well,
we didn't ever have Rocky. Everyone, well, you need a dog. You need a dog.
What I mean is, we were the year before we did a couple at the very end. The Rocky's first year was the first year we did the full season, right? I believe we videoed like maybe a month or so the previous year, but then Rocky's first year was the first year's like, oh, we're gonna video everything and all that. So it was kind of like everything dropped. You know what I mean? And then we had a bad season. It was just kind of, it was a recipe for disaster in a way.
Well, it's a learning. We don't know.
Right.
You know?
Well, I guess a recipe for frustration.
You must have been frustrated more. I mean, I got frustrated a lot, but you were probably frustrated with me or something. And you've said things about Rocky, a new dog. I didn't even know you felt that way. You were telling someone a while back about Rocky and like, oh, and I was like, oh, I didn't know you were that like mad about it. But
what are you talking about?
You were like super frustrated about how inconvenient it was to like have a dog learning out there. I just think you were pretty like adamant about it. I was like, oh.
But do you feel like that season?
I don't.
Do you think that
I don't ever know what you're thinking if you don't ever say it.
I'm probably a lot like you. I'm probably a lot like you.
Like what?
You're just thinking about everything, and then you're observing, and you have your thoughts. But you think
he didn't say nothing horrible. If that's what you're taking,
no, I didn't.
I'm not saying that. You were just like, oh, it was terrible. It was horrible. It was bad.
Oh, maybe I don't know. I thought we were both.
I'm about to go Dr. Phil and get this figured out.
No. Dude, you're going to have to do a lot of Dr. Phil if you hang around me and Thomas very long. But here's the thing. That's how we are.
About us
oh, yeah. We make people uncomfortable. I'm just going to worry.
No, I think it's cool. I think brothers should be able to talk like that and work through that stuff.
Yeah. I think that's probably the only reason we're close. Because if we couldn't talk like this, I probably wouldn't hang around him.
Right. That's cool. That's how you probably grow and get, become closer.
I don't know if to take that as a compliment or not.
Well, no,
it's good, dude. That's healthy.
No, him saying he wouldn't hang around me if we weren't brothers, basically.
No, I'm saying if we couldn't talk openly, like there's people that I can't talk openly with, and I couldn't spend a lot of time around them because if I said what I really felt, they'd just go off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how when you have that's the difference between a friend and your best friend.
For sure.
Where you're like, dude, you're straight with them. Like, you know what I mean?
And they don't go running away.
And even if you both are mad at each other, like 2 seconds later, you're fine.
Right.
Like,
that's
you
cool.
know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Me and Thomas can be literally fighting, like mad at each other. Not fighting, but, mad. Yeah. Like legitimately mad at each other. And then the next 5 minutes later, we can shoot 2 Drake pintails and hugging each other and rolling around in the marsh.
That's amazing.
We have done that many times. Too bad it wasn't documented. But,
I was going to say, do you feel like that hardship season where Rocky's getting trained up, you guys are kind of striking out? And then do you think it's coincidental that the season after that was your favorite season? It's almost like, it sounds like you went through some learning and even Rocky. But I think about it like if you didn't have that tough season with Rocky, that next season where Rocky was fully trained up probably wouldn't.
Well, I think it was a combination of a lot of things. First of all, we had a harder, for us, maybe in certain areas it was better or whatever. For us, it was harder duck season, meaning we weren't getting on as many birds. Gotcha. I think Rocky had, just over 100 retrieves his first year? Mm-hmm. What did he have his second year?
Like 267.
So well over double the bird amount that we're obviously getting on. And that's just with him. Rocky's with him all the time, not including if I'm hunting a different place or whatever. Just overall, everybody had a better season.
Gotcha.
So that's number one, that we're duck hunting, right? That's number one. Number two, Rocky's brand new. Mm-hmm. Titus has never trained a dog before, which obviously he did a great job, right?
Yeah.
So you have a brand new dog and a hard year. So you can, after a while, if you go like 3 or 4 hunts with no success, it starts to get a little bit frustrating, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the only one like that.
No one said you.
Let's put today with another 4 hunts like today. It starts to get a little frustrating, right?
Yeah.
So, and then if you have, you know, a dog, you know what I mean? It just goes downhill from there. So if you put new thing with videoing and a new thing with training a dog, it just makes it high stress. Honestly,
did you feel like if those things weren't there, you'd be having better hunts?
Probably not. Honestly,
But
probably
no,
not.
I'm saying in the moment, like when you were looking at those, you're like, oh, if only the camera.
Would it made the
wasn't out.
bad?
No.
Would it made the bad better?
No.
If they weren't there. Yeah,
The duck season was not because Rocky.
Really?
Gotcha.
And that's exactly what you just nailed it right there by how you said that. It had nothing to do with filming. It had nothing to do with Rocky.
Right.
It was that the season was bad, so those things get blamed. It's
Yeah.
what
I see what you're
happens,
saying, yeah.
right?
They become added
I
stressors.
could get more mad at Rocky a little extra if he's doing something wrong when it's already bad hunting than I normally would.
Well,
You kind of take things
like
out.
kids.
And the thing is because those things are more work. He's got to work to take extra gear out for Rocky. Then Rocky isn't doing what he's supposed to. That's irritating and frustrating. He's spending time out of the pond training him. And now he's spending money on gear and extra stuff to bring out in video. And not only does that take more time and energy, now he's sacrificing shooting more birds to do that.
Right.
And maybe even me. Maybe it affects me because we're hunting together.
Oh yeah.
Well,
See what I
I think
mean?
what affects you the biggest, and I hate that, but the truth is, my attitude is making it way worse for you.
Right.
That's
So
really
look
was the
at-
biggest factor, is because I'm irritated at, and I shouldn't say like, oh, I was irritated. I'm all season long. It wasn't even like that. But if there's no birds, Rocky does something maybe he's not supposed to, and even if he don't even do nothing wrong, it just I don't want to set the dumb dog stand up,
Or carry it 2 miles out to where we're going to hunt.
yeah, just little things they all start
2
adding up.
miles.
Oh, easy, dude, all the time.
Oh, dude,
We still do that. We do it all the time, but
I'm sick that day. Hey,
Well,
the
you have
first
to get a
time we
little
went-
bit addicted before you start doing that kind of
it'll
stuff.
come in because if you already like you are, dude, you're gonna be bad.
You guys had that nice wagon, and I was holding that camera and my Pelican case the first time, and each of those weigh 40. So I had 80, and you told me that the parking lot was like right here, and just walk down this gravel road, bro. That was way farther than I thought. My shoulders, dude.
80
I thought,
pounds.
I thought I
200
had traps for my earlobes when I got back to the car. Like,
Dude, that was so close. We were so close.
No.
Straps to his
Oh my
earlobes.
goodness,
That's
dude.
hilarious.
If you think that was far, you
Okay.
you have a lot.
we crossed state lines, dude. That was
Dude, the truck was no farther than 250 yards.
That's
what's
hilarious.
so funny. Today, you must have loved today,
That's
besides
so
the
funny.
ice. That was what, 60 yards?
yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, the podcast will still go, but we're about to run out on the camera. So, I don't know, in there.
That's funny.
Yeah, whenever. I don't care.
All right.
I'm good to go.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. There's a lot of different varieties and flavors in this one, but it was actually enjoyable. And so, me and Thomas love Rocky. We love each other. We love God.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you guys, none of your business. And let us fight. Don't get stressed
People
out.
don't care anyway.
Dude, you'd be surprised. I can't believe how some people, it just bothers them. Like, they'll get deep too. Like, you should love him and you should, like, dude, this is, if I can't talk like him to that, like that,
Right.
I don't want him.
Sounds like
Wait a minute. Me or Rocky?
You. Like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, if you
yeah.
can't do that,
That's what brothers do.
that's exactly what they do. And if you don't, you're a pansy. So
Yeah.
that's what I have to say
is.
about that. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, he's on. I don't
yeah,
know.
2.
Well,
Not the same scenario.
no.
No, I wish. That's why I kind of want to tell your guys' story. Remember how I said we should interview both you guys?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I think he should. I think, and you can cut this out or whatever, but I think we should have next year, like, I want to like camp out on footage, like build it up through the year, and then at the end, your season cap is a film called Brothers.
We'll definitely be able to do that scenario next year. Easily.
But no, I think
we could do it this year, but I mean,
I see it as like
cool.
I have some footage of him like at work flying, and then I have stuff of you like I probably couldn't follow you at work, but I could like at least have you like going out the door and like just the two differences, like highlight all the differences and how like unique you guys are, and then how you bond over duck hunting. I think that'd be
cool.
That would actually be really
that'd
cool.
be really cool.
Let's do it.
Wheels are turning.
All right, man.
Because dude,
you got so much.
Your
good
mind
stuff.
is great with
dude.
video.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, like the things
His
he thinks
storyline
of is
stuff.
like, wow.
Like I feel like I can get some ideas and videos and like come up, but your like storylines are
well,
great.
and that's what's nice with that with different people's because people think differently, and you bring something that's like, wow, like why didn't we think of that?
I would say like the one thing, because you're always like, I don't really care. I'm not building anything right now, but the passion to film hunting specifically is because my grandpa, that he basically last year, they've hunted deer every year, my uncle and my grandpa. And then last year I was like asking my uncle at Thanksgiving, like, hey, how did it go? Or did you guys get deer? And he goes, he wasn't able to walk out like on the steep hillsides. Like he's too old. And I was like, oh man, that's so sad. And then I thought about it and I was like, I've never seen like one photo that's better than an iPhone picture, but every year I see the mounts. I see them adding to the mounts. And my uncle sucks at telling stories. So I'm like, I don't know what happens out there. Nobody knows what happens out there.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like,
it's lost.
It's lost because if you're not a good storyteller, then how do you pass that down to the next generation?
Right.
Not just how to do it, but
good storytellers are few and far between.
For sure. Yeah.
Really.
And so when you have, I mean, and you know, it's hard to do even with video. Like you can capture something.
Oh, but there's a lot left
but
out.
It doesn't show the temperature. It doesn't show, you know, a lot of stuff. And so I think, you know, my personal 10-year plan is to basically be able to tell stories so well that you feel like you're there and like these big hunts and stuff. So that's what gets me excited because it's beyond the hunt. It's beyond the video. It's almost like at my house when I'm older, I want it to be like a mount and then there's a video file that's associated with it. And my kids can be like, hey, let's watch that one.
That's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we got.
What's
that's
cool.
what you guys have.
In my room, there's there's a video for most of that stuff.
That's so cool.
And that's what's cool about this kind of more day and age. It's our equipment, your guys' equipment is getting so much better.
Right.
That it's like you said, it's lost. Like we both have terrible memories. Like ask anybody. Like it's pretty bad. And 10 years from now,
right?
You know, how well are we gonna remember? Oh, this trip, that trip, whatever. You might still have the mount. But you can't. Your mind can't vividly picture what it was like footage can.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And you'll always have that. So I really do appreciate that side of it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's that whole element of like looking at where you were at and now where you are and you're like, man, I can't believe, you know,
the changes that take place. Man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So, well, all right, guys. Thanks for coming up here again, Caleb, and getting some amazing shots and stuff. So
thanks.
We really appreciate it. Yeah. So we'll be hooking up again, guys. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you guys and all your support, and we'll see you on the next one.